Early in the morning.
What's going on, the people? It's your boy Cam, Topical Juice, and we are back with another video for you today. Is Young Philly being set up? That's the title of today's video. Now, unless something breaking happens in the next few days / weeks, this will be the last video I do on this topic. I feel like I don't want to drag it out anymore. We already know what's happened, what he's been accused of, but it's only fair that I give another side to the story, or talk about another side to the story. The first video I did on this was breaking the news itself, and I gave you my opinion in that video. I said what I thought, whether I believed he did it or not, whether he's capable or not. The second video I did on this topic was less about Philly and the case itself, more about the disappointment I felt when I looked at the reaction. A lot of people were victim blaming, not necessarily blaming the victim in this case, but just I was disappointed in the victim blaming mentality in general. You feel me? Just an overall critique of the reaction. So this video we're talking about, is he being set up? And the reason I'm doing this video is because there's a girl on TikTok who's come out and she did a video basically saying that it's a setup. The girl who's accusing him, she's done this before, she's this, she's that. And I think it's only right, as someone who's fair, objective and balanced, despite my preconceived notions, despite my opinion, I think it's fair that I talk about this and shed some light on this. Let's get into this video, man. If you like the video, for me, it makes a massive difference on how the YouTube video performs in the algorithm. If you like me, if you like my content, please do consider pressing that subscribe button. It's free. You can always change your mind. Press the bell to be notified. I'll be dropping videos in the AM and the PM. And of course, if you want to support your boy, support my channel, please do hit that Patreon link. Last weekend's video, the weekend just gone, was all about Trey Songz and his history of violence towards women and people in general. The week before that, it was Jay-Z. The week before that, it was Andrew Tate. So please do consider signing up. Cheaper than your daily coffee. Let's get into this video. So as I mentioned, a woman on TikTok has basically come out and she's apologized to Philly. And she alleges that there's been a friend of the girl who's accused Philly who came out and said that she'd done this before. She did this to Bryson Tiller when he came to Australia, but they never pressed charges and all this stuff. And she's a SEX worker and she's a stripper. Now I'm gonna play some of that video here. I'm not gonna play all of it, 'cause it's like 9 minutes long, but I'm just gonna play the start of it.
So the media is concealing who this female is. So everyone's like, who is this mysterious female? This mysterious female is Miss Emma Burns, the one and only stripper and sex worker. Round of applause for Miss Emma Burns. Ya sharmuta. So, why am I so annoyed? It's because Emma Burns' friends have come out and they have exposed her. Emma went to the hotel with Young Philly and they both had a mutual agreement. When you have a mutual agreement, babes, it's consensual. So there's no there. It is consensual. Yes, if they, take it a bit further and stuff, then okay, yeah, it is a bit too much and charges can be pressed. But it was a mutual agreement. Emma Burns had then texted her friends and one of her friends, and told her friend how much of a good time she really had and that she was ready to go home. Could her friend book her an Uber? Remember that. Her friend should book her the Uber, but she's a stripper. Please remember these two things, okay? Because we're going to be very logic here. Her friend should book her the Uber. When her friend was going to book her the Uber, she then told her friend, oh, actually, I don't need it anymore. That doesn't sound like someone who's being sexually assaulted, Emma. That sounds like someone who's having a goddamn good time. A goddamn good time. Because if you were being assaulted, you are in a hotel where there are hundreds of people on the same level. You could scream. You could text a friend because it seems your phone was working really fine, Miss Ma'ams. You could run down to reception and tell reception to call the police if your life was at any danger or there was any threat of your safety. Those are 3 things you could have done. Screaming would have probably been the best one, because I can guarantee you there would have been someone next door, because we know how hotels in Australia is booked, packed and busy. Okay. Emma, you are a sex worker. You are also a stripper. There is nothing wrong with that, because if I could shake my ass and get a little coin, I will too. So I am not bashing you for that in any way, shape or form, Emma. But it's pretty obvious your stripping career isn't taking you anywhere. the fact that you have to ask your friend to book you an Uber.
Now, first things first, I played quite a lot of that clip. Rather than breaking it down scene by scene, I kind of want to talk about it in a whole. You know, a lot of people believe he's capable of this. A lot of people believe he did this, right? Without knowing the facts and the evidence. You know, none of us know the facts. None of us have seen the facts. None of us were there. I haven't seen the CCTV. I haven't seen the pictures of her bruises. I've heard stories about him. I know what I know from my friend and the aggression that he showed her. And I made up my opinion based on that. And a lot of people agree, but a lot of people disagree. But those people that disagreed with people like me and others, they said, well, wait till the facts come out. Wait till the evidence come out. Yeah, we can't just be jumping to conclusions. Fine, you're right, fair enough. Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with that. While I've got my opinion, I'm not gonna say you're wrong for that opinion. This is the thing, I can be objective, I can be balanced. But that same logic must be applied to this woman. This woman has absolutely no evidence. No evidence. But she's actually presenting it like it's fact. She's telling us she's an SEX worker. She's telling us that it was mutual, it was an agreement. She's telling us that she texted her friend saying don't bother to come pick me up or don't send the Uber. She's telling us things that we didn't know about the case as facts. She's presenting it as facts. Now that's wrong. It's okay for her to have an opinion. The same way I've got an opinion based on what I know about Philly and based on the fact that the prosecution's pursuing this and etc, etc. I've got an opinion on that. That's okay. She can have an opinion. She can say she doesn't believe it. That's fine. But she's presenting information that we do not know to be fact. That's the first thing. We have no idea. So all the Philly defenders, they will use this as ammo. Like, yeah, he's innocent, it's a setup. But I'll say the same thing that you said to me. Where's the evidence? Where's the proof? You got DJ Academics posting it. You got all these random things posting it saying that she's a setup chick. How do we know this? If it comes out that she's a setup chick, I've already said I'd apologize to Philly. I'd apologize to his friends, his family, and more importantly, Philly himself. I would hand on my heart apologize. Because I don't care about being right, I care about the truth. I've got no ego or pride. If it turns out that this girl is lying and she's actually set him up, not only will I tear her to shreds, I will actively pursue and push for her arrest. I'll be saying that in my video. Women that falsely claim something as serious as rape, you deserve jail time. Facts. I've got no qualms with that. The difference between someone like myself and others is that while I may choose to believe victims initially, because statistically speaking, they're telling the truth, that doesn't mean that they can't lie, or that doesn't mean that when presented with more evidence, opinions can change. E.g. Amber Heard. When it initially broke that Johnny Depp was abusing Amber Heard, initially I thought, whoa, that's crazy. I can't believe Johnny would do something like this. It did not take me long at all to change my mind. I very quickly realized Amber was not a victim or a survivor. She was the perpetrator. The reason why my opinion changed because evidence came out, facts came out, that proved she was no victim. That's the beauty of opinions. They're allowed to change. So if it turns out that this woman is lying, I will 100% hold her accountable for that. And she deserves jail time. But let's actually stay on topic here. This woman has no evidence to back this up. I haven't seen any texts from the friends, the alleged friend of the girl who did this. I've searched TikTok, I've searched Twitter, I haven't found it. If anyone's got the proof or the evidence of the text messages that the girl who accused Philly, her friend, said that exonerates him, please DM me. Everyone's saying that this girl allegedly set him up, but there's no one showing where they got this information from. Now, secondly, I don't like the narrative and I don't like how this woman brought up the fact that she's a SEX worker or a stripper. She was slut shaming her. She was basically undermining her because she was an SEX worker. She's saying because she's an alleged worker, by the way, I don't even know this to be true, but because she's an alleged worker or a stripper, that she can't be raped. That's like saying a murderer can't be killed. Like, what are you talking about? Are we saying that just because she does SEX work that she deserves to get raped? Or maybe that she put herself in a position to get raped? You could possibly argue that, because in your line of work, you are going to come across different men. Or are we saying that SEX workers can't be raped because they're just slags and sluts and things like that? I don't agree with that notion. You feel me? And I actually know, personally, a former stripper who has got more morals than 99% of women I've ever come across. She had the biggest celebrities in the world after her, from your biggest athletes, your biggest artists, and didn't put out for any of them. Yeah, I know this for a fact. Yeah, it's one of my close friends. Yeah, it's not about the line of work you do. What about drug dealers, gangsters, people that push heroin and crack and cocaine into their own communities, destroying families? We put them on pedestals. We idolize them. Gangsters, yeah, they're the best. I listen to the music. Yeah, I listen to music that corrupts the youth. I listen to all that type of stuff, and I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I love drill and I love all this stuff. While I don't agree with what they're doing, I like the music. But we romanticize and glorify that lifestyle, selling drugs, this, that, and the other. I don't judge people that sell drugs. If that's what they're doing, that's what they choose to do. Whatever. The same way I don't judge SEX workers and strippers. I believe strippers can get great. I believe SEX workers can get great. So I don't like the way she framed that. You can have opinions and judge people's line of work. That's okay. That's your prerogative. That's your opinion. But I just don't really see the relevancy here. For me, I just don't know where the evidence is. That's what I'm saying. So you can argue, well, you don't know where the evidence is to accuse Philly. I don't. But the fact is, if the prosecution felt that they had no evidence to go off, they wouldn't pursue it. Now, that doesn't mean he did it, but it means that there's evidence to suggest he did, whether it's the CCTV they allegedly have or it's the bruises. Now, I don't think the CCTV is going to show much if it was inside the hotel room. There's not going to be a CCTV in the room, so maybe the CCTV showed that, I don't know, them walking in the hotel. I'm not too sure what to expect from the CCTV. But they've got these bruises and whatnot. Now, you can get bruises from normal sex, but when you slap a girl in dogs and you start spanking that ass, sometimes it can bruise. Yeah, it happens. Yeah. Obviously, they're saying that there's evidence of something that's potentially non-consensual. Another point that I strongly disagree with this girl on is the fact that she said, if you were getting raped, you would scream. If you were getting raped, why didn't you scream? You were in a hotel room. If you screamed, someone would have heard you. If you were being attacked, you could have gone down to reception. You could have snitched. You could have said this. You could have said that. That is a very, very, very ignorant statement to make. Very ignorant. I'm not saying she hasn't been through something similar. I don't know what this girl, I don't know this girl. I'm not going to make assumptions on her life. But that was very uneducated and very ignorant. Because a lot of rape victims feel so vulnerable in the moment, feel so powerless in the moment that they can't scream. They're mute. They're paralyzed by fear, paralyzed by inadequacy, confusion, shame, all in the moment. It's very ignorant to say that, well, if you're getting raped, you should have just screamed. That's not how the real world works. When you've got power dynamics, someone as powerful as a celebrity, someone who's more influential than you, someone with more clout than you, it's not as simple as, oh, you should have just screamed. No, that's not how the real world works. That's not how nuanced something like rape really is. What's to stop a man from absolutely punching you up black and blue, knocking you unconscious as soon as you open your mouth? Or choking you so hard and putting his hand over your mouth? What's to stop that? I know the point she's trying to make, but that was very, very uneducated. There's also rumors now from this girl on TikTok, from people on the internet, that this girl allegedly did this to Bryson Tiller. I have Googled Bryson Tiller case, Perth, Australia, nothing's come up. There was no accusations online, there was nothing. You can argue that they were going to throw out the case or there was no evidence so they didn't pursue it, but surely if someone's accused Bryson, there'd surely be like a rumor about it or something. There was nothing. There was not one news article mentioned Bryson Tiller being accused by anyone in Australia. So for me, I just want to see what everyone else has allegedly seen. I've Googled, I've looked on Twitter, I've looked on TikTok, and no one has shown any messages from her friends, the proof of Bryson Tiller, the fact she's an SEX worker, besides the fact that she's got a couple bikini pictures online, or she did OnlyFans at some point one time. I'm not too sure. I don't know. It's okay for you to defend him. I'm not saying you can't. I respect people's opinions. But it's so important that you don't generalize and assume that all women can lie. Because for every one Amber Heard, there's a million Cassies. Let me say that again. For every one Amber Heard that lies on a man, pushes a fake narrative, portrays someone in a negative light, there are millions and millions of Cassies who really go through that every day, are forced to stay silent, who don't even pursue any action, keep it to themselves, who suffer in silence. That's why I choose to believe victims. Do I get it right all the time? Of course not. We're humans. Yeah, the same people saying this and this wouldn't look in the mirror and admit you don't get it right all the time. I don't care about being right, I care about the truth. And it's okay to have an opinion. To all the people saying, oh, well, we should wait for the facts and stuff to come out first. Keep that same energy 100% of the time. Whether it's a celebrity getting bagged for something, whether it's a gang member getting bagged for something, whether it's a politician getting bagged for something, whether it's a murderer, whether it's an alleged rapist, whether it's an alleged say that every time. Live your life like that. You can't flip-flop. You can't pick and choose. You can't have an opinion on this while also waiting for the evidence over there. You can't speak your mind on this topic while needing the proof and facts on this topic. Be consistent. I have an opinion on everything. So I'm going to give you my opinion on everything, even if it's potentially wrong because I stand on business and I say things with my chest. Do you understand? So for me, is it possible that this woman has set him up? Certainly it's possible. If there's evidence to suggest that she did try to set Bryson Tiller up, or this was consensual, or he didn't take it too far and all this stuff, okay, that's fine. Me and Philly will never be friends, we'll never be dogs, but I'll say, you know what, I was wrong. Until then, this will be the last time I talk about this. Generalizing anyone, any demographic is wrong. The same way when a black person stabs a white person, right, and that white person dies, we all get punished for it. The black community gets punished for it, and we don't like that, do we? We don't like that. We don't think it's fair that one black person can commit a crime, but we all get blamed for it. What about when terrorism happens? A terrorist can be black, white, Asian, whatever. But when there's a terrorist attack, Islam gets blamed. Muslims get blamed. It's not fair, is it? So the same way you've got a problem with your community being blamed when one person from that community does something wrong, is the same way we should not do that with women. Just because there is a small percentile, an absolutely tiny percentile of women that do lie on men, we should not blame the entire female population. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying. We go by statistics, we go by average. Most women don't lie. Most women don't even report the crime. Do you know how many people who have been raped and assaulted and abused who haven't reported the crime? There's a lot of women and a lot of victims and a lot of survivors who don't report the crimes. Statistically speaking, they don't report the crimes because they barely get punished. It's very difficult to prove rape. That's why when it happens, you have to go to the law immediately so you can get your swabs and you can get your inspected. You can see if there's any damage to your genitals or any bruises and things like that. Because if you report it too late and there's no evidence to support you, it's your word against theirs. So most rape victims don't get justice. I'm really breaking it down in simple terms why I think the way I think, whether it's experiences I've had, whether it's statistically speaking, facts, factual evidence. As I said, for every one Amber Heard, there's a million Cassies. There's a million women who go through it all the time who don't even report it, or they do report it and they get away with it, or they don't get justice for it, all these things. Do you understand what I'm telling you? So as I said, unless there's any more breaking news on this will be the last time I talk about this situation. As much as I don't really care for Young Philly, don't really watch his content, I've got a sour taste in my mouth from what he said to my friend. He's a brother at the end of the day. I don't want to see another black brother go down like this. I don't want it for him. I don't want it for his family. I don't want it for his friends. I'm not preying on anyone's downfall like that. Just because I wasn't surprised by the news. Like a lot of people, by the way, a lot of the internet was not surprised. What does that tell you? And Young Philly, I'm going to end on this actually. Young Philly, let this be a lesson. If you see this video, let this be a lesson, bro. You are very famous. You've got a lot of clout. A lot of people want to take that clout, whether it's nefarious reasons like setting you up, or people just want to be known to have slept with you. Yeah, when you're a man in your position, Philly, you can't put yourself in these positions with these random girls, bro. Sleeping with them rough. Do you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. You just can't do that, because you can get yourself into these situations where you're getting accused of 4 counts of rape and strangulation and all this stuff. And this goes for anyone who's got clout, anyone who's a celebrity. Do your due diligence. Don't get trapped. Don't fall into the trap of sleeping with these random girls on nights out after your tours, on these tours, and put yourself in a position where someone could blame you for something. I'm not going to make it about race. You've got some people saying because it's a black man and it's a white woman and this and that. Just do your due diligence and make sure you don't put yourself in a position where you can get accused of this stuff. Like everyone else, we have to wait for the facts to come out. We have to wait for the evidence. You can have an opinion on things. That's okay. I have an opinion. You have yours. Let's just see what happens going forward. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay vigilant, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.